Hey everybody, it's Tony Mandiel here from Anatomy FX, and if you're watching this video, chances are you just purchased one of my flat silicone character molds. So what I'm going to do in this video is show you how to use these molds to create your own Bondo transfer appliances and your own encapsulated silicone appliances to create a variety of characters. So let's go ahead and get started.
All of the materials we're using are from prosthetictransfermaterial.com. This includes their Bondo transfer material, their dab mold release, and their acetate and tattoo transfer sheet sets. Start by choosing a cut in the character mold that you want to make a Bondo transfer of. Use a single drop of dab mold release in the mold. Work it around with a soft, clean brush. Be sure to also go beyond the edge of the appliance and into the channel around it. Next, we'll be using the prosthetic transfer material in light flesh. Use a clean spatula, scoop some of the material out of the container, and spread it around in your mold. If your mold has any deep crevices, be mindful to work the material down into those areas and not trap any air. Work the material right to the edge of the mold, allowing yourself a little more material than needed. Next, you'll use a piece of the acetate that comes in the acetate tattoo transfer sheet sets. Unlike other companies, PTM acetate is treated on both sides with mold release, so it doesn't matter which side faces down. Cut a piece of acetate larger than your prosthetic and place it down into your prosthetic transfer material on your mold. Use a clean spatula and gently scrape along the acetate, pushing any excess material down into the channel around your appliance area. Use light pressure and scrape in every direction. The idea here is to get a clean, sharp edge that you can see through your acetate. Notice you can see the green of the silicone all the way around the appliance. This is going to ensure a good thin blending edge when we apply the piece on our model. Place the mold on a flat surface in a freezer for a few hours. You'll want to freeze your prosthetic transfer material so you can demold it later. After about 4 hours, depending on the thickness of the piece, it's ready to come out of the freezer and demold from the silicone. It's important to note here that your prosthetic transfer material is not dry, but frozen. You'll want the material frozen enough to demold from the silicone without being tacky and retaining all of the fine detail. Carefully lift a corner of the mold, look for an edge of the acetate, and gently pull the silicone away. Thanks to the dab mold release, it should come away easily. The next step is to peel the excess flashing away from the appliance. Begin by gently rolling a piece of the flashing away from the edge of the appliance until you can gently peel it up off of the acetate. Continue around the edge of your appliance, pulling the excess flashing away from the center, leaving the nice thin blending edge of your appliance. Once the excess flashing is peeled away, you can set your appliance aside to dry. You can let it air dry over a few days, or you can speed up the process by using a food dehydrator. Once your Bondo transfer appliance is dry, you'll need to place it onto a piece of the tattoo transfer paper. Begin by using a small amount of Pros Aide adhesive on a sponge and stipple a very thin layer onto the appliance and out around the edge onto the acetate. Once the Pros Aide adhesive is dry, cut a piece of the tattoo transfer paper roughly the same size as your acetate. You'll want to be sure to use the treated side of the paper. This will be the glossy side without the writing. Gently press the transfer paper down onto your appliance and the acetate. Use firmer pressure around the edge to ensure a good seal all the way around. You can now cut away excess paper and acetate, leaving room around the edge of your appliance. Your Bondo transfer appliance is now ready to use. You can make a backstock of these and keep them in your makeup kit for quick character makeups. When you're ready to use your Bondo transfer appliance, gently peel away the acetate, exposing the back side of the piece. Be careful not to peel up any edges of the appliance from the tattoo paper. This is where nimble fingers come in handy. Prior to beginning any makeup, always be sure to clean your model's skin with a mild astringent. Choose an area where you want to place a cut and gently press the appliance down onto the skin. Then, using a sponge or paper towel, begin wetting out the tattoo transfer paper with water. As the paper becomes saturated, it will activate the treated side of the paper and it will easily slide away, leaving the appliance adhered to the skin. Here, I've chosen to use one of the smaller cuts on the model's upper lip for a split lip effect to go along with her cut cheek. Use a cotton swab and some 99% isopropyl alcohol to melt away any edges of the appliance and blend them off into the skin. Always take extra care around the model's lip area. Once your Bondo transfer appliances are on, you can go right into makeup. The Bondo transfer material is tinted in a variety of flesh colors and are slightly translucent. This allows your model's skin tone to show through. If you choose the right base flesh tone, then very little makeup should be needed. Here, my model's skin was slightly fairer than the lightest flesh tone of the PTM transfer material. So I'm using Skin Illustrator alcohol activated colors in Rice Paper and Natural One from their flesh tone palette to lighten the color of the appliance to better match her skin tone. To add some irritation and very slight trauma bruising around the makeup, I'm using Skin Illustrator glazing gels in red and blue. These are fantastic translucent gel makeup colors that create realistic skin effects with colors that are able to be layered on top of other makeups and themselves. It doesn't take much color at all to blend your transfer appliance into the skin, and you can see just how fast these makeups go on for a finished look. A fine brush and a mix of Skin Illustrator blood tone and aged blood are brushed into the cuts to add some depth. Once you're happy with your makeup, you can give it a final seal spray to help it last longer. Here we're using Love Shine from Premier Products. Finally, you can dress your makeup with a little bit of blood. Everyone has their favorite blood products for different applications. Here we're using Smooth On's Ultimate Blood Base. You can see we're using very little blood and then dabbing it back with a damp paper towel. A common mistake people make is burying their makeup in blood and using it to hide mistakes. With blood, less is always more. And here's a finished trauma makeup that's been applied and camera ready in minutes. It looks authentic and it's easy to maintain. When you're ready to remove your appliance, there are a variety of adhesive removers you can choose. Here we're using Premier Products Super Solve. Soak a clean cloth or a cotton round in the adhesive remover and begin gently massaging it into the prosthetic makeup. Holding a cotton round saturated with remover up against the appliance will allow it to start softening the edges. You never want to remove a prosthetic makeup too quickly and peel it away from the skin. This can cause irritation to your model's skin. Let the remover soak in and do its job. Once you have an edge peeled up, keep working remover underneath the appliance until it comes away freely. Clean any remaining residue and makeup from your model's skin using the remover. Once all traces of makeup are removed, your model is free to wash and moisturize their skin however they choose.